I would say we've kind of had an adventure this weekend without even trying to have an adventure.
This weekend was a roller coaster.
This weekend was very annoying.
But funny enough,
What?
at the very last, I want to say like a couple hours of the weekend, which is right now, I feel the greatest I felt all weekend.
Really?
Which is usually when people start to like...
Not feel good.
Yeah, because tomorrow you got to go to work.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, I feel fine. I feel a little anxious, which is on theme for today's episode.
Why are you anxious?
We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But the reason why we kind of had an adventurous, it wasn't that adventurous, but a specific weekend is because there's no heat in our apartment building this weekend.
Geez.
And Seattle was particularly cold this Saturday and Sunday.
Very cold.
And we also live in a vintage, like 1930s apartment building.
Is it vintage or vintage?
If you know, you know.
You
That basically there's like no insulation. Our windows are made out of wood, and the way that they open, like they're not insulated. And there's windows in our apartment that you can literally put your hand over, and you feel the air coming into the apartment, like the cold ass air.
Yeah, the amount of layers I have on right now, I don't even want to count.
Yeah, I feel like you had definitely
I have like
more
two
than
sweats on. Not sweats. What do you call the...
2 pairs of pants?
No, like I have the sweats and then the long thing at the bottom.
Long johns?
Long johns, and then I have... Anyways.
And you have like 3
it's
shirts.
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold. And when it's so cold in your apartment, you feel like you can't really do anything because you're so cold.
And
like,
also...
can't clean.
Yeah, right. And we don't have like one of those... I don't know why we didn't even think about getting the small heaters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I also just hate having to buy things like that for a specific part, like momentary moment.
We can just return it. Like use it.
Yeah, I guess that's
and then
true.
say, hey, I'm sorry, this really didn't work.
But you know what's funny is whenever there's like, because I was talking to my mom earlier and she's like, you know, you could have gone to the store, or like you could have asked me or your sister or like your mom to, if they have a heater, to bring us one.
Yeah. I mean, my mom did go to the store.
Oh, right. And she did not find one. That's true.
Yeah. She went to the store. She called me because I told her that the heater was not working. And she was like, oh, I'm in Bellevue right now. I can actually just stop by the mall and get you guys a heater. So she went to Target. I felt bad because she walked around and she couldn't find one. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. If you're listening, Mom, thank you. We love you.
Yeah, we do love you. No, but I was going to say that it's kind of funny thinking about it because I have this thing where when there's an inconvenient thing happening or this thing that bugs me or that is like just on the negative side of the spectrum.
Okay.
I do this very toxic thing where instead of trying to really find a solution for it, I actually get deeper into it and try to sit in the inconvenience and the like badness of it.
You love to do that.
I do that.
Since we first met, I noticed you love to, even if you're over it.
Yeah.
You can't come back to life and just talk about some normal shit that's been happening. You kind of want to like sit in the mud.
And I'm not even trying to find a solution. Like I wasn't trying to find a solution for the fact that we don't have heat. So let's go to like, we could go drive to any department store.
You know, for some reason,
try to find a heater.
I wasn't doing what you were doing, but I just didn't think about that.
Okay. I wasn't like consciously thinking,
okay, because
we could get a heater, but we won't because I wasn't thinking that. But at the same time, I'm actually recognizing this pattern in this moment. Specifically when there's an inconvenience or something, I've found myself even in a conversation with someone else and I'm explaining to them like, oh, this is so annoying, like I'm so frustrated, blah, 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 because of this thing. And then I constantly am focusing all of my energy on that and I'm giving no energy to trying to find a solution. And
that's interesting.
Okay, we're already potting though. So,
all right.
Welcome to the What's the Juice podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I am one of your hosts, Alia.
And my name is Yoni Kodo. You know what's funny? Last episode, I didn't say my name is Yoni Koto, and everyone was like,
thrown off.
You didn't say your full name. It threw off the whole pod episode.
Yeah.
And the reason why
I
didn't say my full name is because I actually said for the first time, I am your other host.
Oh, yeah, because I always get on Yoni, like, why don't you say, like, the logical thing? You just say, I am Yoni Koto. Like, it's so out of the out of the sentence.
I think people just got so used to it.
Yeah.
So when you say, my name is Alia, I'm your host, I just say, my name is Yoni Koto. Like, obviously, I'm not a guest. I'm here every day.
I know. But usually I feel like people say with this person and then the other person says and with blah, blah, blah.
Well, we're not people.
Yeah, we're different.
Yeah. So anyways, so that was funny.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Yoni, why didn't you
People
say?
were like...
Oh, and also, people think my last name is Koto. K-O-T-O.
Because you could spell Yoni with an E at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's E-Koto. But I appreciate everyone for reminding me. And I will never say just my name again. That's like, it felt weird when I re-listened to it. I was like, damn.
I guess that's a thing now.
Yeah, like that shit threw me off. But anyways, I am Yoni Koto, and today, this episode is very on brand. Not on brand, but it's a perfect timing to speak about that because I am very stressed.
You just said you're feeling good.
No,
earlier.
I'm feeling good, but if I like Monday, tomorrow, for example.
Yeah, you know the stress is gonna come.
Right, but it's not even like So, okay, this is what I meant, right? Right now, I feel good in this moment. I want to talk about it. Yeah. I'm not stressed.
You feel good because you're potting.
Right, but I also don't think about all the shit that's like sitting on my back.
Yeah, because there is shit sitting on your back. I'm not turning a blind eye to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, therefore, I feel great right now. But I know once we're done and I'm driving somewhere, I'm going to think about...
When you give yourself time to actually think about things that are on your back.
Yes. And the funny thing, are we just getting right into it?
Yeah, we're just getting right into it.
Okay. And the funny thing is with stressing, a lot of the times, it has nothing to do with me. Like the cause of it is not me.
The cause of the stress you're feeling?
The cause of the stress is not me.
Okay. So do you want to expand on that?
Yes. For example, it always has to do with someone's expectations of me.
That's stressing you out.
That's stressing me out.
Okay. Such as?
Let's say, like, are we getting into like specifics?
Well, no, you can like give a Yoni. What's happening in Yoni's mind right now is like.
No, don't even say that because that's not true. But for example, okay, this is what I want to say.
Just give an example. Okay. Like it doesn't have to be a specific person or something.
So if you call me, right? Mm-hmm.
But I think you shouldn't use me as an example.
Okay.
If somebody calls you.
But you know what? That's not even what... Basically, when someone is expecting your time to be given to them, it stresses me out.
Because you know they're waiting.
Because I know they're waiting.
Right.
And if they have a valid reason, they wouldn't wait.
Okay, that's a key component right there.
Right.
If they have a valid reason.
If they have a valid reason to reaching out to me. Yes. If they have a valid reason, I don't think they should be just waiting just because they called or emailed me once, or if it's something urgent. I'm thinking that they would send me a message, like a written message, either a text or email or something to say, hey, Yoni, I need you right now because of ABC. Mm-hmm. But if you just email or text.
Not email. If you call, you mean.
Right. And you don't say anything. I'm thinking this is probably not that important. And I'm just going to get to it whenever I actually can, right?
Right. Or whenever I feel ready that I've had my time to myself or whatever it is that I was doing in that moment that I wasn't ready to break up my time or whatever it is that I was doing to interrupt it with like something that you want my time, like you want me to give you my time.
Right. You know how annoying it is? If I'm driving somewhere and I'm just having the best day and it's just me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
I listen to a radio station or I listen to a podcast or favorite album, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just having the most peaceful day.
Yeah, you're in your solitude moment. You're by yourself. Yeah.
And someone calls me. Sometimes I can't answer it right away because you're really breaking up my peace now.
Yeah, you're like interrupting my
But
whatever.
a lot of people take offense to that. If they knew this is what you did, obviously they don't know that. Maybe they don't know why you didn't answer.
Right.
But if you tell them that, or if they knew that you didn't answer, you just looked at it and just let it ring, they're going to be like, damn, that's fucked up.
But how do people know that?
They don't know. Let's say if you told someone or whatever.
Okay, but so they call you and then you don't answer.
I don't answer because I'm in my peace. I'm in my zone. But in my head, I make a note. Okay, I'll just call them later tonight.
Right. Or I'll text them later and be like, hey, how's it going?
Right.
I was doing something.
Exactly. And because they didn't text me to say this is urgent, I'm thinking, perfect, no problem.
It's probably just like a chill random call. So it's not a big deal that I didn't answer.
Right. But sometimes when I do answer the phone call, sometimes I do interrupt my peace.
Yeah.
And I just answer the phone. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just see what's up, right? And they want to talk about the most random shit. And I'm just like, this was not worth it.
Something that could have easily been texted also.
Easily texted.
Yeah.
So
basically what brings on stress for you is whenever you feel like people are expecting you to give them your time.
It's mostly that, because other than that, and the only reason why that stresses me out is because I know that the person on the other side will start to just wait to see when I reach back out. And it could be anybody, my friend, my mom, like my dad. And I know not everyone takes it personally also.
Yeah.
For example, like me.
Like me.
Okay. So that's one example.
Okay.
I have another example, but let's get into yours first.
Well, I feel like since you already talked about that, and since actually this, exactly what you were just talking about, kind of happened to me today.
Why are you smiling so big?
I don't know, because it's like funny to me. And it's funny because also thinking about like the people that are in our lives that listen to the podcast, I wonder if they listen and they're like, are they talking about me? But anyways.
It's like, I know exactly what I didn't answer that day.
Yeah. But basically today, it was Sunday, and I was like, it's Sunday, self-care day, mental health day. Like, I just want to really do whatever I want to do without ever being interrupted. Until I choose to interrupt my time with something I choose to, I don't want any outside force to enter my peace. Okay?
Okay.
So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. The new iPhone update, the Do Not Disturb, you have to like go with the settings to like basically actually make it be Do Not Disturb so that people can't call you.
It took
me a while to figure it out. But basically, at first, I put on Do Not Disturb and I was just reading a book. And then I had my phone like close-ish to me. So if I needed to, I can check it. But I thought it was on Do Not Disturb. And I was listening to music, like some jazz music. I was reading my book. And as I was reading, I'm starting to get a call. And I literally was like, oh.
And you thought it was
I thought it was on Do Not Disturb. So I just was very frustrated. And I have this thing with calling that I have expressed this to many people in my life, including my family, that when it comes to phone calls, am the most Gen Z person out there. I'm just going to own it. I do not like talking on the phone if you can text me. Like, if it's not an emergency, don't call me. Text me first. If you really need to call me after and tell me like, hey, I really need to talk to you. Can you talk right now? Like, can I call you right now? If someone texts me that, I'm like, okay, they actually need to talk to me right now. I will call and I will talk.
And you have no problem doing that.
I have no problem with that. That's different.
Yeah.
But most cases when people are calling me is not that type of situation. Most of the time people are calling me for the randomest shit. Or they're calling me and want me to answer a specific question about something in that moment. And usually it's about, hey, what are you doing right now? I'm around the area. Do you want to hang out? Or, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you busy? And the thing that happens that moment.
That is something that could be texted.
That is something that can totally be texted.
I understand that.
And I'm thinking, can you give me some time to figure out like an answer to you? Because the problem with me is that most of the time I need some time to figure out whether or not I want to hang out. Okay. And this is just a fact. This is how I am. This is how I am wired. Okay. I don't like saying yes because I often change my mind. So if somebody asks me like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I feel obligated to say something along the lines of like, yes or maybe. I don't know how to just say no.
But I told you there's a good trick.
Yes, which is?
Which is, if someone calls me right now, Yoni, what are you doing later tonight at 6? Or what are you doing tomorrow at 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
My automatic answer is I might be busy, but I'll let you know. Therefore,
I need to like write that down somewhere.
Right. No, therefore, they know, okay, he might be able to make it. And I'm not lying when I say that.
Okay.
Okay. So when I give him that response, usually, even if I don't have anything planned, I still say I might be busy because...
You might be. You don't know yet.
And also, I might just be busy with my own time.
Yeah. Also, I hate how people...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I hate how like busyness, when I say I'm busy, I can't be busy. I can be busy with chilling at home. Because I think, and we talked about this in our Sorry I'm Busy episode, where... great episode, by the way, if you want to listen. That I hate how like why is it the automatic if I don't have plans and someone asks me, hey, like, do you want to hang out later? And I feel like I have to make up something that I'm busy because if I'm not busy, I should want to hang out with them. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get that. And it's very annoying because what if I just
don't want to hang out?
What if I just don't want to hang out? What if I just... And I still love you.
No, and it has nothing to do with that person.
No, it has nothing to do with that person, but people take it personally. So, for example, for me, if when I give them one of those answers, and that just determines, let's say, okay, now we get to Saturday, 2 p.m., right? Or let's say it's like an hour before the thing is happening. And I'm just feeling great at home. I'm doing something. I would hate to just have to leave that area. I mean, like my space in that moment, and then just go somewhere because then I'm only there because I already said that I was gonna be there.
Yes.
And when you say that, usually you have to follow through. It sucks to like, hey, by the way,
exactly.
I'm not.
Because then you're a flake.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tie this back to like how is this stressful? Okay, because I feel like we got into.
No, I mean I feel like it's pretty clear for.
Okay, yeah. Basically, for me, especially when it gets closer to the weekend. My family and whoever in my family member, if you're listening to this, you know, this is just me being honest. But generally my family, they love to hang out every weekend, which to a lot of my friends and people my age, they're like, damn, you hang out with your family every weekend. And the expectation is there. And basically, I already expect that on a Thursday or Friday, I'm going to get a text, or Saturday morning, I'm gonna get a text on the family group chat, or actually on the group chat, which is my mom and my sister, of basically someone saying, hey, what's the plan for the weekend? Who's hosting? Where are we going? What are we doing? And the assumption is already there that we are going to hang out together and we're going to do something. That's already the assumption in the plan. It's like it's put on me.
You should have said, what's the juice for the weekend?
Yeah, no, for real. And that question stresses me out so much because I feel like I'm being stripped of my choice. It's an automatic, like, so it's not we're hanging out this weekend.
So it's not even about can you, it's about
and do what you are want we doing? To. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't want to hang out this weekend. You know, maybe this weekend I really want to just do something by myself, like with you at home. Like, I'm not really trying to do any social thing, hang out with other people. Maybe that's the plan. But for some reason, I feel like that just stresses me out so much. Exactly what you said. Expectations. When people expect you to give them your time. And I've really learned the past year how much I really value my own time alone.
The busier we got, I feel like the more you realize how much time is actually important. Because when I wasn't so busy, I wasn't really that stressed about people's expectations because I had time to go do whatever. But when you work so much during the week and doing all these different, whether it's like work related or personal project, you know, I'm supposed to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to like work out.
I'm supposed to clean the house. I'm supposed to do the laundry. I'm supposed to cook good food.
I'm supposed to I don't know, like call people back or something. It's a lot during the week.
And especially because there's so much left over in the weekend to do. To take care of yourself, to go to the gym, to hang out with the two of us.
Yeah.
To like catch up on some shit on TV.
So that's when it's when you're just busy doing like so many things, I feel like you realize how precious time is.
Yeah.
That's the only time I really get stressed by expectations. But when you're not so busy, you're like, cool, I can.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter because you actually have time.
Yeah. And I think I don't know.
And especially if you have a social life also.
What
if you have a social life, I feel like you let's say I have to call my dad back, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you know, he's in Belgium. Time difference is not the most convenient. Mm-hmm. But if you have a social life, usually, even if you come home and you live with someone, I come home, I'm not by myself. Like I'm talking to you, or I'm letting you know like how my day was, or and then we just start talking. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like as soon as I get home, usually like if you live alone, I'm assuming. Oh. You kind of have time to like, all right, who can I call now?
I get that.
I can make all these phone calls. Because I don't know if you just have time to, you know, be social over the phone.
Yeah, but we're already social at home.
Yeah, when I get home, I don't have that time to just like, I'm not alone a lot.
And you don't have that also need in the sense because you're talking to your person.
Exactly.
Like you're catching up. You have that social thing going at home all the time.
Yeah. When I was living by myself, I was calling people all the time. When I was at home by myself, call my friend here. All right, call my friend. I would literally call people like 7 people back to back, just see what everyone was doing.
I've never been that person.
No, I love calling though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hate calling.
Yeah, I love calling because it's faster. Also, I know it kind of argues your point.
But it also depends.
It depends on what the conversation is going to be.
Yeah, and it's like if we're calling, it just really depends. Because if I knew, that's the thing. I also don't know when someone's calling me. I have no idea why they're calling me, and I have this like assumption, and that's stressful. First of all, because someone's calling, and I'm like, oh, are they calling me just because they want to ask me a question, which they could have texted me? But are they calling me because they want to just like catch up?
But also, what if they call you and it's already an emergency?
Okay, listen, I'm thinking like if there's an emergency, like emergency life or death, you're not calling me, you're calling 911, right?
I mean...
Okay, that's getting into specifics, but...
If some shit is going down, I'm calling you. I'm not texting you.
Okay, but I'm thinking if there's an emergency, you calling me like multiple times back to back, you text me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get away from the calling. What other things stress you out? Because there's something else you're going to say.
Yeah, another thing that stresses me out is, by the way, I wanted to preface this. I don't get stressed a lot.
Yeah.
Like I found this little, not schedule. I found this, how do I say this? Like an approach to where I don't get stressed a lot. Really, like the only thing that stresses me out is other people's expectations of me. I don't want to say for no reason, but it's like I'm just living. I'm honestly not even doing anything wrong. Right. I'm living my life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm doing all my things. It's just expectations that I don't like that because I don't have expectations for people.
Because
like
you know
that.
Someone's there thinking and waiting for you to do
I don't have
something.
expectations. Like if let's say for example, right? Let's say my sister doesn't call me back for 2-3 weeks or a month.
Talk more about this calling.
No, I'm just saying, I know that she's going to get back to me.
Yeah.
And if I really need to speak to her, I'll text her.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like people just take it, it's a reflection maybe like on like what your lifestyle is or...
Yeah, and I think everyone just takes it differently.
Yeah, so I understand.
Yeah.
Something other than calling, I mean, for me, what stresses me out is... I was trying to think.
I would say that for you, I very rarely see you stressed because you just don't really let it get to you. And if the only time you might sometimes you share with me that you're feeling this overwhelmed thing, you feel unsettled. You've sometimes felt that way, and it's usually because it's certain things that are piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
Of things that you have to do, and you feel like there's A, B, C, and D on your to-do list, plus people needing to call, people expecting you to call them, and getting back to certain people, and like, oh, there's all these other things that I've been meaning to do, but oh wait, I also want to go play my soccer game, and wait, but we also got to do this, and
I just want to do so much in 1 week.
I know. That's adulting, to be honest. I'm coming to realize. Yeah.
Keeping up with people is good, but I just don't think they should make you feel bad for being busy with your life, and I don't know. Yeah.
So let's talk about my stress, and then we can compare and contrast a little bit of like our approach, because for me, I've had some really stressful couple of months, and that's because, again, when you don't have time for everything you're trying to do, as we were just explaining, stress is inevitable. Like, you will be stressed because you're constantly under that anxious state that there's just something coming. Oh, there's someone calling you.
Can I answer this?
No.
Sorry, bro. Call back later. I was going to put him on the pod.
No.
Anyways.
I'm like in my vibe right now. See, like, I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
But anyways, so basically, like, when you don't have time, you're automatically stressed. There's no way to avoid that. And that was me for the past 3 months, and it's just been like really a hard time to figure out, like, how can I reduce my stress levels, because I constantly feel like I'm running behind with everything. And when you feel like you're running behind, when you feel like you're running on that hamster wheel and you're kind of not getting anywhere, it's so frustrating, and it only grows your stress level.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is I tend to sit in that stress. I tend to really I don't know if rumigate is a word, or I don't know, but
no. You meant to say marinate.
Yeah, I tend to really marinate in that stress, and I get in it, and I suck all the flavor out of it.
You like doing that.
That's what I'm saying. It's a toxic trait that I have, that I sit in those types of situations where I feel stressed, where I feel anxious, and I like to absorb as much of the badness feeling of it and really like just run with it. Like, when you're mad, you want to be even more mad. You want to break shit. When you're sad, you want to listen to sad music and cry. It's the same thing. When I'm stressed, I try to absorb even more stress. I kind of like am X-raying my life to find where else can I add more stress to myself. It's so weird.
That is so. I feel like I've done that with being sad. I remember I was sad at some point in my life, and I would literally listen to a sad playlist.
Yeah.
But, I think it's important because sometimes you just really have to sit in it.
No,
it's better than ignoring.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would just sit in the sadness, and if I have to cry, I would really just cry because I have to.
Yeah. That's basically what I do when I'm stressed, and it's not. It's like.
You do it too much. Like, I feel like you can do it for a little bit, but the way you do it,
I let it go for way too long.
Yeah.
To where I just like catastrophize. Is that a word?
I think it is. Yeah.
Certain things and certain situations, and instead of looking for a solution for it, I immediately go like, okay, how much other shit in my life is stressing me out? And I start just thinking about that. And I focus all of my energy on that.
And you want to bring it all together in one group.
And like just suck on the stress juice.
Yeah, damn. Okay, so that's not good. If you're listening out there, please don't do that. Okay,
yeah.
It's not good. If you're feeling sad and you wanna, I think it's just very important for us to feel how we feel.
Yeah, and I
so
mean,
if you're sad, be sad, but don't like.
The problem is that it should be an immediate, like, as soon as you feel like that stress is accumulating and you're really highlighting in your mind. You're realizing like, oh, I have to like go to the post office and then do this, and then I have to do this homework for this, or I have to get all this stuff done by this deadline. You're looking at your calendar and you're like, damn, I also have this, and I am also trying to do a workout class, and I'm also trying to do this, and oh, I have to go to the print store to print this, and you're just like, boom, 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 boom. You are in like overwhelming your entire body so much, and you're giving so much energy to the fact that you are recognizing and identifying that you're stressed and identifying all the reasons you're stressed, that there's no point in doing that for so long.
Yeah. And on top of that, you get a random phone call. It's always the phone calls that add shit.
On top of that, I get a phone call. Yeah. So
that's how you deal.
So that's how I deal with stress. Yeah. And I think I don't want anyone listening to this to start feeling stressed by listening to.
I feel like people listening to this and they're like, "I'm stressed right now." This episode is stressful.
Yeah, no, we wanted to talk about this because stress is something that everybody deals with. The older you get, it's just going to get worse, unfortunately. I was researching, and like stress is actually the reason for a lot of health problems.
Oh yeah.
From mental health problems to actual physical health problems.
Yeah.
It can strain relationships. It can it can literally give you gray hairs so early. It can start aging early. Stress shortens your DNA strands.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. Stress, the more stressed you are, the faster you are going to age.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to be stressed. And people always tell me like, Yoni, why are you just so calm all the time? And I can tell you, it's not very easy, but.
So let's get into the solutions then.
Okay.
So what's your approach?
First of all, there's a couple solutions that I'm not even doing that usually works.
Okay, but let's talk about what you do.
What I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I like to say that I live in this bubble. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's like a transparent bubble that I just walk around with all day.
Okay.
Especially if I'm at the restaurant working. That's usually when I bring the bubble out.
Which is, if you've worked in food service, is a high stress level all the time.
Exactly. A lot of people coming in, people asking for napkins, water, Wi-Fi password, utensils, all that.
Yeah, while like having to do a bunch of other shit.
Exactly. While it's busy.
Yeah.
And the line is out the door. So that's when I have my bubble and I bring it out. And it's like one of those bubbles that you can't actually poke it.
You or someone on the outside?
No one can poke it. I don't care if you have a knife. I don't care if you have a gun. You can't shoot through it.
I mean, maybe if they do, you might need to get your stress level up.
No. But I'm just saying that
no, I get
in my head, this is how it works.
Yeah, it's a metaphorical knife and gun.
Exactly, and it's all actually like a
conscious thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if obviously I'm not tricking my brain. Because when I'm at work, for example, and I see some of my coworkers getting stressed about something, right?
You can just tell they're frazzled.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And before I continue, actually, I just want to ask you, do you get stressed when people around you are stressed? Like you're good, you're having a good day, but then you just feel like this person I'm working with is just out of it. And they're stressed.
I'm trying to remember because I've worked by myself, like at home, and worked from home for a while. I would say a little bit, but if I'm
like that person walks in a room and you can just feel the air change. It's like, okay,
yeah, but I don't think I let it affect me that much, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's good.
No, I would say so.
That's good. So this bubble of mine is, I don't know how to explain it, but basically
put in a situation.
Okay, so if I'm working somewhere, whether it's retail, whether it's a restaurant, and a stranger comes up to me and they're mad about something. Mm-hmm. They're mad about their food. It took, I don't know, like way too long for the food to come out.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you're also doing something
Meanwhile,
else.
I'm working. I don't remember your order. I don't even remember you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time putting into words, but I will never let another person that I don't know, that I never met, like ruin my day. If I'm having a great day at work, which I try to have as much as I can, I always trying to come in with 100% good energy, but obviously sometimes you can't do that.
Yeah.
So if I'm having a great day, like, what do I look like letting another random ass person just come in and ruin my day? But I know it affects a lot of people. Because if you work somewhere, you can kind of take it personal. Like, damn, why did this person say this to me when I'm just out here working, serving people? But to me, it's always just a reflection of that person.
I would say from like my observation.
So I feel bad for them. I'm like, your life is maybe not in a good place right now.
Yeah.
Why are you coming in a restaurant asking for shit when you're mad? Or
But what about like in situations where it's not necessarily like one person, it's just that there's a lot going on, there's a lot of things that you have to do.
Okay, so just do them one by one. Like, I don't.
Isn't it that it's literally that simple?
No, honestly, I just think.
I just thought to myself, like, damn.
No, this is how I and that's not because I go into work and I feel like I don't care about the place. So even if I'm like, on set, if I'm shooting something, if I'm like doing a photo shoot, I don't get stressed. I used to get stressed in the beginning because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah, and you don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing.
You never want to seem like you don't want to do. So I would get stressed, just earlier when I first started shooting.
Okay.
But when I know what I'm doing,
and I'm just doing it.
I'm just doing it. So if it takes a little longer, I will tell you why it's taking a little longer. Whether it's in the studio or at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm by myself today, so I'll get right there, and I'll take your order in a second. As soon as you acknowledge people, they will understand that
it is what it is. At the end of the
I can't wait. But
it's like if you can't wait, you can leave.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I try to tell like a lot of people that I work with anywhere in the world, whether it's restaurant, anything else, just do what you have to do at the moment.
Like instead of fixating on I have to do this and this and this and this.
Yeah, focus on what you're doing at the moment.
Start somewhere and choose one and make your way through them.
Yeah, and I get it that it might sound like it's easier said than done, but I think
it's also the only solution though. Like truly,
what else can you do?
What else can you do? Walk out.
Exactly, and people have done that in the past.
Yeah, people have done that.
And low key, I'm like, okay, good. Because now
now they're not stressing you out.
Exactly. And by the way, do I let other people stress me out? Like if I work with them and I see that they're stressed, I'm only stressed because. So yes, the answer is that it does affect me a little bit, but I'm not actually stressed. I'm just thinking in my head, like,
you're frustrated.
Man, like I wish this person wasn't that stressed because you really don't have to be stressed right now. So it stresses me out that it really ruins the vibe.
Yeah.
So then I can't even talk about the shit that I want to talk about in my good day because
they're just like having one of those days.
Yeah. And have you ever seen someone so stressed you're like, man, I don't even want to like I was trying to put no, I mean that's obviously like I never like to be around people who are stressed. Like that's maybe like my number one pet peeve.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do try to talk and say, and I hate sounding like preachy, like, hey, bro, like, what's going on? Like, tell me, because sometimes it's none of my business.
Yeah.
But I do just like to, I don't know, just talk about random shit and see if they can kind of like come out of it. But sometimes when people are stressed, you just want to leave them be.
And sometimes people get exactly how I was just saying, where they sit in that stress. Where they're like, even if someone is really coming up with solutions, trying to talk through like how can we figure out a way for you to not be stressed anymore, they will like actually reject that.
Yeah.
And I remember when I worked in food service, I would literally do that. And sometimes I would not catch myself, but someone would basically, I would say, oh, like I'm so mad or I'm so frustrated, or like I literally want to quit because this and this and this and this. And that person I'm talking to literally says something very simple like, okay, but why don't you just have this person do this and then you do this? And I'm like, well, it's it's still frustrating. You know what I mean? And I just choose to continue sitting in that because
it's so.
I have no idea why.
I would never do that. I hate.
If you're listening to this and you're a psychologist or something, like, I don't know, let me know. Maybe I need to like go to therapy to figure this out, because it's really
not good.
Self-destructive, and it works. It's counterproductive. It works against you, and I could actually get way more stuff done if I didn't just choose to sit in that rather than find a solution. Because also there's so much energy that you have, and if you choose to put all your energy into the basket of anger and stress, you have no energy to give to a solution.
Yeah. You know the story. I don't think I ever told it on the podcast, but I used to have a coworker, and they would get so stressed when it's busy, to where I can just feel the way they move is just different. But it's so funny because customer can see that. One time I had this old lady come up to me, and I told you just the other day, she was like, Yoni, you're doing great. Like, it's so busy here, but you're handling it so well. You're just... It looks like you're floating almost.
Yeah.
And that's the same.
You know why you're floating?
That's the same lady that was like, telling me that, she loves my energy. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So basically, it was me and this other person working, and it was so busy. I don't know why it was just the two of us. Yeah. And people are asking for things left and right. There's shit on the board that we got to get. And I pull them to the side, and I say, listen, there's only two of us. We can only do so much. So you get the register and I get this thing, and we're just going to work and talk to people and say it's only the both of us right now, and we're going to get to your order. And they were like, okay, cool. The way they answered, I was like, it's not cool. They didn't get it.
Yeah, like they're actually still mad about the fact
that like while I was talking, I could just tell that they're not listening. Like they're stressed in the moment.
Oh, your coworker.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the customer. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I was telling my coworker what we should do.
Got it.
Kind of like just let's.
They were basically They were not actually receiving what you were telling them.
Exactly. They were just kind of like, okay, yeah, cool, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then went back to being stressed, and I looked over and I was just like,
damn. I mean, you tried.
Oh my God. It was
but
so wet.
My observation too is from, so many of the conversations we've had around this is that I think another thing that you do is whenever it's a situation like that, especially if you're in a type of industry that you're working for someone else. Okay. I think this can really only apply if you're working for someone else, if you're working in a specific, kind of like food service or I don't know what you would call one of those jobs, like not necessarily a corporate job, but even if it's a corporate job and you're working for somebody else, okay? And every day you go in, you clock in or you sign in, you do that 9 to 5 or whatever your shift is, and you are stressed. And you've told me this many times, you got to literally like take a step back and actually look at what I'm doing right now. Low key doesn't matter. In the sense of it's actually not that serious.
Yeah.
Because
I love saying that.
remember when I worked in food service, I would treat the situation like life or death. That's the type of energy I was like, I was providing to this task that I had to do and this job.
Why?
I have no idea.
You know how many people do that?
Yeah, I know. Like people give so much of themselves mentally, emotionally, physically to a specific job, and the stress level that they let affect them because of all these tasks and deadlines and people and things that they have to deal with, they take that and they treat it so seriously because they feel like they have to, that they forget that it's actually not that serious. We're not curing cancer. It's not that serious.
Yeah, but I think there's other things that are serious. If you're a manager at a restaurant or something, this is actually your job and you have to take it serious. So you will get stressed.
I'm not saying don't give a shit.
Because if you just don't give a shit, like...
I'm not saying that, but what I mean is I think if you're a personality like I am, if you're listening to this, because I also think it has to do with personality to a certain extent. You in general are just a more chill, cooled off, just chill guy.
Yo, I would be the chillest manager ever if I was a manager somewhere.
But I am not. I'm very much like red, like intense.
That's why you're the red and I'm the blue in the relationship.
And did we have a podcast dedicated to that?
Being red and blue?
Yeah. I think we talked about it at one point. But
yeah.
Anyways, basically, I just get to that level much quicker and I stay there much more. And I'm just more prone to that compared to you, where it's like it takes kind of a lot for you to get to that level. And that plays a part in it. You can't say that doesn't. But I don't know. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think about it, even like when I had my full-time job, I would let myself get so stressed out and think to myself, like, if I don't perform well or if I'm slacking, because there comes a point where you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to do any of this. I'm so stressed. I'm so tired. And you could literally just be like, I'm going to stop working right now. Especially if you're working from home. It totally depends on your situation. But you could just stop working.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I'm thinking, okay, but like, this is my job and I don't want to lose my job and I want to perform well and I want to do a good job. But then you have to just find a balance where you're just telling yourself, like, I'm working for somebody else. We're constantly being told and taught that we need to go above and beyond what is expected of us. If you're being paid for this amount, you're being paid to work at a coffee shop or at a restaurant or whatever else. Or like do what's in your job description. And in your job description, I don't think it's listed kill yourself and fuck your mental health in this situation that you're at right now and be hella stressed and whatever. Like, I'm sure that that's not expected of you. And if it is, like, find a different job.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I don't know. I just feel like we need to treat the jobs that way more.
Yeah. The other day, someone came in the restaurant and she was like, there's a crazy man outside. He's throwing stuff on the street. Can you go do something or should I call the cops? And I literally looked at her like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I even forgot what I told her because I was so even just like, it was funny that she came up to me. It's like, if they're not in the building,
it's not my responsibility.
Leave me out of it.
Yeah.
I don't care what he does. Call the cops. Like, I'm already dealing with some shit in here.
Yeah.
You know, and people just come in and ask for the most random shit. And I'm like, if this is happening outside the facility, don't contact me. I was going to ask you a question. Do you think that stress has an impact on like your daily like routines, like workout, eating, like the way you eat, the way you work out?
Yeah, I often think, eating like, for sure. I find comfort in that. Like if I'm stressed and if I have a very stressful day and I'm dealing with a lot of like annoying things and I've just been struggling through this like mountain of just shit. If I feel that way, often I'm like, no, I won't try to eat like vegetables or fruit. I'm like, let me indulge in the most whatever I can.
We're going to McDonald's.
Not necessarily like that, but I'm gonna like go on Uber Eats and order myself some big fat, something.
Yeah.
So it affects me that way. Then I am also like, I'm tired and I've dealt with all these things.
So it makes you not want to work out.
Go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like because your mind just been in the gym all day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it definitely affects me in that way. I think it affects our relationship sometimes because, actually it affects our relationship. I wouldn't say a lot, but it affects moments when we interact. And I think you can speak to this. When you basically can't talk to me when I'm working.
Yo, this is something that I've been working on. And I think
You've been working on. It's my problem.
Yeah, I know, but I also have to work on just understanding the concept of right now I can't talk to Alia because when she's working and she's busy and it don't even have to be a full-time job or your YouTube stuff or anything.
It can be anything.
When Alia is focused on something, I literally can't even talk to her because as soon as I say, hey babe, do you want? She's like, I'm good. Or like, hey babe, can I get you
Or
and I'd be trying to say some nice shit to you too. Like I see you're stressed and I would just try to come up to you and be like, do you want some water? And then sometimes you don't even answer.
Okay, because you also just ask me stupid shit.
And you know what's messed up about it is because I'm just trying to like make you feel good.
I know.
So when you're stressed and you sometimes like you get mad at me for talking to you in that specific time, So that's what I'm struggling with, understanding how can you be this way, because if I'm super focused on something, right?
Yeah.
If you talk to me, I'm disconnected from that thing, and I'm like, what did you say?
Oh.
Like, I can give you that moment and then be like right back. Like, I will never like snap at someone because that person has something to say to me right now. You know, so it's
you make it seem so easy. But can I just tell you, when I'm in the moment,
I don't think it's, maybe we're just like different, but
we are. Because when I know every single time right after I respond at you very like snappy, or I rush you or whatever, in the moment right after I do it, I'm like, why do I do that?
You think about that?
Yeah. But it's my immediate, like, I don't even know. That's why I'm saying, like, you make it sound so easy, because for someone like you, it has to be something on the inside, subconscious. I just know that in the moment when I'm really focused on editing a video, if I'm really trying to like push through getting some work done that seems very like laborious or time consuming, or if I'm like frustrated that something's like not working, I'm trying to like figure it out, or something is like frustrating me and you try to talk to me, I really don't know why, but I can't even explain it. I just can't. I just react that way. I'm immediately like, not right now, or like
that.
Yeah.
You know what I think to myself?
What?
Like right after, like when I walk off, I'm like, I will not say a word to you until you're just completely done. So even if that's like 4 hours from then, and then once you're done, you know what, you know what she does? Like once she's done working, and at that point, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do my thing too then, right?
Yeah.
And then you would come and try to be all cute.
Because I'm done.
And good. That's when I know you're done with work.
Yeah.
But it's like so black and white.
It's this like, I don't even know what it is, but the mindset I get in, I'm like a whole different person.
No, you are.
And you tell me, you're like, oh, but I feel like I can't talk to you right now because you're working. And I'm like, yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's something I need to work on, just because when we do have kids, the kid is going to need the mom no matter what. Like if she's busy, she's frustrated, whatever, you gotta still.
I think I noticed that just in general, I'm really good at disconnecting like different things.
Yeah, I think I get so plugged in. Like I feel like all my tentacles are like.
To you, everything is one thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like at work, for example. I myself, Yoni, at work, I have my energy.
Yeah.
And then someone comes from the outside, just like trying to ruin my day, for example. Obviously not on purpose, but they just come in with some negative energy. Mm. I will never let that affect me, ever. I can't do that, right?
I immediately like...
If I'm working and I'm super zoned in on some shit, and someone... And it can be anybody, not even you.
Yeah.
It could be anybody. And they would say, hey, Yoni, what was that name of that movie that... Like, I would answer and get right back to it, or tell them, hey, but I'm busy right now. Mm. But I can't say, like, you would say some shit like this, I don't know. And then get back to it.
I was picturing it in my head.
Or you're working and I ask you, hey, babe, have you seen the charger? And it's literally next to you. You're like, I don't know. I'm like...
Yo, because I literally feel like I'm constantly running against a time bomb.
And then when I walk around, I see the charger's right there.
I'm like, I didn't even look for it.
Are you serious?
Oh my God, it's funny because I literally hear myself saying it in my head, that if you ask me something like that, I'll be like, babe, I don't know. Or like, babe, I don't know. Like, can you look for it yourself?
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's something that I deeply need to work on, because I don't like that. I do that. And I should be able to just break what I'm doing right now, take the time to go back to it. Yeah. But I just take it, I really feel like it's life or death, and it's not.
Yeah. Can we so what do you think, or maybe I should start answering this, but I think can we focus on like some solutions that could be possible?
Yeah, let's round it up now with some good solutions.
I think eating healthy and working out.
A lot of people say working out.
Moving your body is so important because I feel like if I'm not working out, if I'm not moving, running, playing sports, if I just like sit in my body, the body just wants to move. And when you move, you actually like I automatically just feel better. When I go play soccer or basketball, I always feel good. I don't care if I won or lost the game. It's not even about that.
Yeah. You just feel like you emanated some...
Exactly. I was outside. I was
energy.
running. The other day, I was playing soccer in the rain. It felt good. The last time I went, it was raining. Everyone was there. And I feel like if I wasn't doing that, like if I wasn't in sports, I feel like I'd be stressed a lot more in my life. I feel like stressing out working out is very, very important.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's like their I wouldn't say coping mechanism, but a lot of people say that exercising, like through some research that I've done.
Or do a daily walk.
Yeah. Like spending time outside, getting outside.
Eating healthy. Or another thing also.
Getting enough sleep.
And another thing is that during the 7 days of the week, schedule a time for you to not do anything. Like say specifically Thursday from 6 to 7, you can either turn your phone off. I'm not doing anything. I just want to sit on the couch and not do shit.
Can we normalize having our phones on Do Not Disturb?
I think it's very normal. I feel like a lot of people have that.
Yeah, I guess I'm like late to the game. But I basically finally figured out how to set up my phone so that if somebody tries to text me, before they text me, it says Alia has her notifications silenced. Mm-hmm. So before they even take the time to text, they're like, damn, they're trying to not be bothered right now. So I might wait.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. If you have an iPhone, that you can do that. But I want to be... What?
I say Android people are like, what are you all talking about?
Yeah, but I really want to... I want to utilize that a little bit more. Yeah. And just put my phone on Do Not Disturb at a certain time. You can even set it up so that at a certain time, you can have certain settings that like I have you so that even if it's on Do Not Disturb, like you can still call me.
Yeah. And by the way, Alia doesn't hate when I call her.
Okay, because we live together and rarely do you call, and the only time you call is to tell me you're on your way home.
That is true.
That's the only time.
Speaking of phones, I think another thing that stresses people out, including myself, is that anytime I get a spare moment during my day, I go like this.
You go on your phone.
And it takes away of my time alone. I noticed that
it takes your brain power.
Yeah, and it's weird. I hate how much I pick up my phone. Like I feel like there's a setting how many times you pick up your phone during the day, right?
There is, yeah. And I also think that when we do it, we're thinking like, oh, okay, let me like relax and be on my phone for a little bit. But it's actually not.
No, but I don't even feel like it's relaxing when I do it. Like I think,
but it still feels satisfying though because you've been away from your phone. Okay. So you're like, I can't wait to get back on my phone.
I can't wait to get back to my phone.
And truly get back to your phone is actually get back to Instagram. That's like the only thing I do on my phone.
Okay, Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, that's you. I'm on Instagram and my email.
And ESPN and Sports Center.
Okay.
So 1 second. I think that being on your phone is, I'm just going to speak for myself. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm like cool and calm and like stress free most of the time, I will say.
Yeah.
I have this inner, I don't think it's stress, but it's just like I'm not calm. Mm-hmm. Because I know that I'm, basically what I'm trying to say, I'm like really addicted to my phone.
Yoni is addicted to his phone.
I'm addicted to my phone.
I feel like it's been worse lately.
It's been worse lately, and I want to figure, and this has nothing to do with stress. This is like a little like off topic.
I think that unconsciously it affects like your brain capacity. Yeah.
Because it's always thinking about something.
Yeah,
like,
and it's always consuming something.
If I'm working, for example, I work, right? When I have my break, and I be talking to people all day at the restaurant.
Yeah.
When I finally get my break, I go on my phone and I can't wait to check notifications.
That's understandable.
But I want to take that time to just eat and look outside.
Yeah.
Or just like, I don't know, maybe.
I mean, when do you eat and not sit on your phone?
I don't know, but it's not good.
No, it's really not
Yo,
good.
the other day, when was it? I was on a train one time, and a little while ago, and I looked around, and everyone was like this.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Think about in line, just waiting in line for something. Sometimes I just
crazy.
put my phone away. I'm just looking around. Everybody's on their phone. In an elevator, most people on their phone.
The elevator shit makes me sad because it's like, you guys, whether you live or work in the same building, we have these like maybe 30 seconds with other humans in this little box. That's why I love talking to strangers.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I just feel like it's...
And it's become also this like comfort where you just reach for your phone when you don't know what else to do. Because we don't know how to not do anything.
Or you reach for your phone when you're in a very awkward situation, and this is something that I do a lot.
That's different.
If I didn't have my phone, oh my God.
No, that's different. I mean, just like, waiting for anything, moments where you have no choice but to stand still and wait for some shit. You can't do it. You have to always be like, oh, let me like scroll, whatever.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if there's something wrong with that.
There is something wrong with that. We don't know how to not do anything. When was the last time that you ate and you didn't watch something or just scrolled on your phone? You literally just ate a meal in silence, not listening to music, not watching a video, and not scrolling on your phone.
The only time I've ever done that is probably when the Wi-Fi connection was bad.
Right. Or something like you were forced to. But I think it's so good.
What's good?
To do that. To be able, like, the fact that we're not able to sit through just sitting through a meal or a snack.
How often do you do that?
I don't know. I don't do it that often, but I want to do it more often.
What, like not being on your phone?
Yeah.
Right?
Think about, like, maybe the only times that I'm not consuming some type of something is when I'm taking a shower.
I mean...
Think about that, because when I'm on the toilet, I'm on my phone.
I mean, for me...
when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm on my phone.
You're not. When you're brushing your teeth?
Sometimes.
No, that's... Now you're making it seem like way worse than it is.
Okay, maybe if I'm brushing my teeth, I'm not. And doing my skincare.
When I take a shower, I always listen to something.
Right. I would say when I'm in but see, that's why I brought up the shower is because when I'm in the shower and I'm not on my phone, I have so many thoughts. And I'm thinking about so many things. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, or I'm thinking about what happened today, or something very random, or I'm thinking about a show, or I'm thinking about an idea. Like, you actually give yourself space. Your brain has time at some point to have thoughts and creativity and imagination.
You know what's funny? Like, this conversation stresses me out.
Why?
I don't know, because there's so many things that I don't know why. I just feel like...
Because you're realizing you're addicted to your phone?
No, I just feel like as soon as we're going to be done with this, I'm just going to think about all the shit I got to do.
Okay, well, before we get into that, another solution I would say to deal with stress is adjusting your standards when it comes to anything that you're doing. I would say for myself, very often the reason why I'm stressed is because I have a certain set standard for myself that I'm trying to hit when it comes to work specifically. And my standard is that I'm going to get everything that's on my to-do list done.
Oh, doing too much in one day.
Or exactly. And those are the standards that you're setting for yourself. And that standard stresses you out when you are realizing the day's almost done, or I'm halfway through the day, or it's this time, or whatever, and I haven't reached that standard.
Wintertime, getting darker earlier, has a lot to do with that. Because by 5 o'clock, you feel like the day's over, and you're only halfway through your list.
And actually, yeah, that's kind of deceiving.
But in the summertime, 5 p.m., you're like, oh, this is midday.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something to say about, like, adjusting your standards to where they don't stress you out. Because truly,
just don't have that many.
You have to do that many things in that one day?
No.
Because there is also such thing called, there's also a thing of being addicted to being very productive. And we're also under this assumption that everything we do has to maximize a productivity moment. You know what I mean? I saw this video of someone on Instagram that she was making fun of people who have those walking pads.
What is that?
The walking pad. I literally bought one, but never used it. I'm about to return it.
Walking pads.
Yeah, like it's like basically a treadmill that you buy for your
without
home,
the handles.
without the handles and all that. Yeah, and it's smaller. And she was making fun of those people with walking pads because she was like, my daughter bought this walking pad because she doesn't want to just watch TV and sit down. She wants to watch TV and walk on the treadmill on this little walking pad while she's doing her. Can you stop? While she's doing her skincare and eating dinner.
What?
Yeah. And she's basically saying, like, what happened to doing one thing at a time? We're constantly trying to maximize or squeeze productivity out of every single little thing.
I do feel like there's a reason to use that thing.
Use that what thing?
Walking pad.
Okay, she was just giving an example. But what about what?
If you're working from home.
Well, yeah, that's what it's for. Yeah. No, but I was basically saying
she's trying to get those steps in.
And that's fine. But I also think that we're constantly trying to figure out how can we do more in every second of every day.
That's more you than me, though.
Yeah. And okay, I'm saying we. If you're with me, if you're listening to this, you feel me. Cool. That's the we I'm talking about. But yeah, I do think that adjusting your standards in that way is important.
Yeah.
You know, if you're clearly not meeting them every day and that's causing you stress, then maybe it's not actually like it's not a you problem. The problem is the standards you're setting. You know, and that doesn't mean like necessarily lower your standards in the negative sense of the words. But you get what I'm saying. I'm just trying to picture a list, right?
If I have a list with 7 different things on it, I will be stressed because I'm like, okay, that's a lot of shit in one day. If I have a list of 2 main things I want to accomplish today, you know how much better I'll feel?
Okay, but at the same time,
I'm doing this one thing right now, and after that, I got to do this one thing, and I'm done. But actually, if the other things, if there's some shit you got to do today, you have to do it.
Yeah, like what do you have to do more than two things?
I don't know. I mean, some people like to write every single thing down.
Right.
Go to the store, brush your teeth, wake up in the morning.
Okay, we're not talking about that.
Like, I hate details on lists.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about like legit things that you have to do. It's like I have to do the laundry. I have to go to the store. Then I.
But if you say go to the store, don't say buy grapes. Just go to the store.
You can make another list for your actual grocery list.
Oh, a whole other list.
Well, yeah, so you don't forget. But I saw someone saying that it would be a good idea if you made when you make your list, you make an ABC list. So
what is that?
Means basically A is like the main priority of the things that you actually need to get done. B is things that like if you have it's basically like prioritizing. So whatever's in A is like it's a must. And let's say you have those 2 things that you're like today these are the things that these bitches need to be done. Sorry.
It's fine.
that was so unnecessary. And then in B, you basically have other 2 things that are like, okay, if once those 2 things are done, I can move on to the next 2. And then C are basically things that if you do have the time and still feel like it, you can get it done. Why are you laughing at me?
Because the way that came out was so funny.
Oh, when I said bitch?
Yeah. No, but I felt it. I understood what you're saying.
Yeah. So you get what I'm saying. So I think that would be a better way to do it. So that way you're still writing down like the things that you need to do, but you're putting the standards, you're compartmentalizing them a little bit and being like, this is the main thing that I need to get done. And then once this is done, I can move on to these things. And if I still have some time left, I can do that. Or if I still feel like it, or I'm in the mood for it. But if you put it all together, all in one, you're feeling like, where do I even go? Where do I even start? Which one do I even do? And then you just kind of try to do all of them. I also think that multitasking is actually like hurting you rather than helping you. I think it's better to take one thing and do it from beginning to end and finish with it. Because if you have 3 things that you want to do and you did a little bit of each one, you feel like you still haven't done one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
No, I think that's it.
Because
I think we said other ones along the way.
Yeah, I was just realizing that there's a lot of, like, we as people have a lot to do, like, every day. Think about all the, like, going back to expectations. That's like my main thing that would stress me out.
Yeah.
Social expectations. What would that be? Like, I don't know, like with social media, everyone wants to be liked. Everyone wants to grow their following. To some people, that's very stressful.
Actually, now that you mention it, that stresses me out.
Everyone wants to, if they lose followers, damn, 10 people unfollowed me. You know, that used to actually really bother me. Now, not anymore. See, not anymore. Because I was, as a photographer, I was just trying to grow my following. When people unfollow me, I used to be like, damn, my photos are not good. But, you know, that's just most of these things with photography was just like mainly in the beginning. So social expectations, everybody wants to have a lot of likes. If they don't get a lot of likes on a photo, they might delete that shit and post something else. Not necessarily.
I would say, I don't know if people are still that.
No, people are still.
Maybe I'm in a different, since I'm like a influencer. I don't really care how many likes I get on anything.
Okay.
I don't really post that much, but I would say what I care more about, what stresses me out more, is like having the cool thing, having the outfit, having a piece of clothing that like I haven't seen anyone else wear.
See, that's something that stresses you out, and I do not.
But that's also like the, I guess, industry that I'm in. You know, constantly trying to be like unique and different, and like having that thing that nobody has yet.
Okay, so that's social expectations.
Yeah, I would say.
Then you have
social media expectations.
Social media expectations, and then what's another one? Financial expectations. Everyone
like
wants
money?
to making money. Everybody wants to save. That's a lot of also just stress. I can't buy this because I need to buy that. Or you know what I mean? So that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Another thing was just like family.
Which is a whole thing.
You know, just like family affairs, right? Like family just situations. That's probably, I feel like, the main thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. Also, expectation. Oh, sorry.
No, I feel like a lot of stress for people come like from family. What are you saying?
I was gonna say also just expectations that you're putting on yourself.
Yeah, putting on yourself,
which is a huge one, and I think it's for me. I would say.
So that would be the fourth one. There's so many more.
Yeah, those are definitely the main four.
Yeah. But I also just think like just being fit, like you want to work out.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That would be our previous episode. We were very much like, we're not gymming right now, but as we made that episode, we actually motivated ourselves to get back into the gym. Yeah, but
and also just like being happy, like that's a lot of people just want to figure out how like. Why am I like not happy right now? Or I need to go talk to this person. Just like figuring out like your own thing, or maybe figuring out your career, or what do you want to do, or like what do I want to do in life? That stresses some people out.
Or like I haven't had a relationship in a while.
Exactly, I'm single. Like I'm not dating anyone, or maybe I am dating someone, but then it's not really the right fit. Yeah. Everyone wants to be successful. There's just like so much. That's why I understand when someone doesn't want to call me back. I'm like, there's a lot of things you got to do.
Yo, if I call someone and they don't answer, and they also don't like text me to ask me what's up, and I'm still, listen, I feel like this is just an unwritten rule, and maybe I'm just writing it down right now in the internet, that if I call someone, they don't answer, and I was calling them. I don't ever call someone for just random. I call them with a specific purpose.
Yeah. You never call anyways.
Okay, but let's say I do.
Yeah.
And imagine I'm somebody else. If I call someone and they don't answer, immediately after that, I say why I called them. I will text them and I will be like, oh, hey, I just called you because I wanted to see if you're like busy later
But what if it wasn't important? Like, do you ever call someone and
I would
just
still
leave
text them because I don't want them to feel like they need to text me. They need to call me. I don't want to. You know why? Because I feel that pressure stresses me out when I'm on the other end of it.
That's nice of you.
So I'm already trying to do that for them, so that they know that like you're good. You don't need to call me back. I was calling you, even though I would never call them. But let's say, like, I just think that's like the best scenario. I call you, you don't answer. I follow up with a text about what I was calling you about. So that way they have context.
It's stressful to see the missed call notification
and text.
Nothing else.
To me, I'm like, where's the text at? There's no way that you called me for something and then I didn't answer and you're not trying to follow up with the text.
No, but usually when people do that, is like they know, if they're your friend, they know you'll call them back on your own time. It's not always like, I don't take this shit so seriously. Like, I don't see you expecting a text. Why are you expecting a text?
Because I feel like it makes sense.
It makes sense to you. I don't think you should. If I call you and you miss your call, maybe I just called you to see how you're doing.
Okay, I guess maybe, I don't know. We're getting back to the call situation.
Because I feel like it's a big thing.
It's a big thing for me because I just don't like calling. And I also think that people shouldn't take it personally that if they call you and you don't answer and you also don't call back or text and be like, hey, what's up?
But then you post on social media.
So what?
And people see, oh, so you can post and not text me back. I
didn't want to call you. I didn't want to talk to you.
I hate that.
I didn't want
someone ever done that to you?
What? No.
You missed a call.
Oh, they just texted me, but they didn't say like, hey, I saw you posted on your story.
Oh, people do that shit.
Oh, nobody's ever done that to me. They just messaged me, like followed up the call.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're going to end the pod here.
I feel like this was good just like for my mental also.
Yeah.
Because talking about it really like helps me.
Yeah, even though you're a pretty low-key chill guy.
Yeah. Call me, damn, I was going to come up with a nice AKA for myself.
Call me...
Low-key Yon.
Yeah.
No, it sounds weird.
No, I've definitely had some realizations myself. I'm going to work on...
What did you realize? Tell me. Like, I want to know. What is
this is like a therapy session.
Okay, what did you realize about yourself?
No, I definitely realized that I tend to sit in those types of negative situations or negative moments that are stress-induced or other type. And instead of using my energy to find a solution for it, I completely ignore that scenario of even me trying to find a solution, and I just stay in the bad and in the negative and in the stress.
Okay.
So let's not do that anymore, Alia. Okay.
Is that the only thing? How are you with the calling? Do you feel like you can handle that a little better?
I feel like I'm still the same.
I honestly feel like you can handle that just a little bit better. But I understand you. But I wouldn't handle it the way you're handling it.
How would you handle it?
If I'm dealing with the same family thing, and the weekend rolls around,
and someone calls you,
me,
you answer.
I answer, and I'm very good at saying.
That's the problem. I'm not.
I'm very good at saying.
I panic and I'm like, yeah, let's go, we'll do it.
I'm very good at saying I honestly can't this weekend, and that can be very true. And that's it.
But I feel like I'm lying.
And I would literally say I can't do Saturday and I can't do Sunday.
But what if they ask why?
Well, because I'm busy and I'm doing this.
And then they ask why, what are you busy with? And what if I don't have shit to say?
Then you say...
I don't know what I'm busy with yet. That's the problem. That's the problem, you know? People ask.
But see, if I'm not busy with anything, then I will actually just really see if I can hang out with them, if I really want to, because it's also just important to.
I'm not saying I don't hang out.
No. I know. That's not even what I'm trying to say at all. But like I told you before in the beginning of the episode, when someone calls me and asks me what I'm doing, I'm automatically busy.
Right.
And then, first of all, they don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
And then. Because now they already know that it's 50-50 with Yoni. It could be yes or not, but at least they already processed it. And then when the day comes around, I'm like, how do I feel today? Can I go? Because now you're at a safe space. You can either say, oh, actually, I figured it out. I can come. Okay, great. Or I'm sorry, I knew it was 50-50. I can't make it. And then if you decide just to read a book that evening, that's what you're going to do. But I feel like by saying that, you give yourself a good, I don't know, like to someone listening, maybe, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just
but
I panic.
But it's also not messed up for you to, because it's the way I do it. It sounds messed up a little bit. Like, damn, you just automatically lying. Hey, Yoni, what are you doing?
You know what it is too? Is because
wait 1 second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm not saying that I'm lying, but I'm thinking about myself first.
Right.
That's the only reason I tell you, oh, I'm busy. Busy with what? With just some shit that I want to do. I always want to do.
I might not even know what I'm busy with.
Exactly.
But I want to give myself the
upper hand always.
Right.
So it's not messed up to say that. Give yourself the upper hand and then figure it out. Because if you say, oh, yeah, okay, we can do tomorrow, and then you hang up and then you think like, oh shit, what did I say that?
And like, I do that all the time. I always say immediately, I'm like, I say yes, or like I don't.
If you really don't want to say yes, never say yes.
Yeah.
And it's not messed up, and it's okay to think about yourself first, because you never want to show up anywhere and just be like miserable.
I've just realized I can't really plan shit in advance. Also, I've come to that time in my life, and I think because of the nature of our work and how it's always kind of free floating, like you just don't really know exactly when you're going to be doing. Especially like we were recording the podcast, we were going to record yesterday, but then we didn't end up recording yesterday because something happened. So we recorded tonight, and then before we were recording, we're doing some other things. So sometimes I just need to, I just in the moment, I would be like, oh, I have some time right now. I want to do something. It happens. So I'm not that busy. Hey, what are you doing?
Exactly.
I'm much more willing to do that. Kind of like a spontaneous in the moment plan, rather than like, hey, do you want to hang out Thursday at this time to do this and this? And I'm like, yo, by the time Thursday comes around, I have no idea what has happened and where I will be with the things.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
it's way different when you're kind of like working for yourself.
Yeah. If you made it to the last episode and you made it all the way, no, not last episode.
To the end of the episode.
If you made it to the if you made it to the end of this episode, please write this in the comments. Give yourself the upper hand.
Yeah, on the YouTube.
Yes. What did you say?
No, on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, obviously. Give yourself the upper hand, because I feel like that's going to solve a lot of problems for you.
Yeah, that's a good tip right there.
Yeah.
And also, if you have any tips and tricks on how to handle stress, how you like to handle stress, drop them in the DMs at whatsthejuicepod on Instagram, and follow us if you want.
And subscribe to the YouTube also. We want to appreciate everyone for following us. It's been great. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time so far.
Fun. Yeah. We love doing the pod. And this truly felt like a therapy session for me.
It really did.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel better a little bit?
I'm processing.
Yeah, you're processing. Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, shout out to everyone's dog. We love you, and thanks for listening today.
Yeah. We hope that you've been having a good week since today is Wednesday. It's hump day. We hope that you are getting through it. If you're stressed, finding yourself stressed, take a second after you listen to this pod and really take a moment and sit in silence. See if you can do it.
You know what's another good trick? Just taking a deep breath.
Oh my God, wait, last thing.
Taking a deep ass breath.
Hold on. This guy, last thing. This guy, if you're watching this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to like see what I'm doing. But basically, I was watching this video and this guy was telling me, or not telling me, but saying in the video that a great way to breathe, to release stress, is you take a deep breath, and when you feel like you took that breath, take another breath without releasing it. So you go. And apparently, that second breath after that second inhale, after you do the initial inhale, is basically an additional lung capacity. You extend it to the extreme, to where you thought you didn't have any more like breath to take. And apparently that accesses some type of like shit inside that is supposed to be very stress releasing. So you really gathered as much air as you could, and then you slowly release it, I think in like a 4 count. And you do that a couple times, and apparently it's supposed to be really stress relieving. I'm just saying that I saw someone say this. Again, don't trust everything on the internet. Maybe I shouldn't recommend that. I don't know if it's true. But I found myself doing that sometimes.
Well, did you try it first?
I've tried it a few times. I wouldn't say it was like life-changing, but it felt good.
Okay, so it worked.
To really expand. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes, also taking a cold shower. Apparently taking a cold shower is as much as like some type of drugs. Like you get the same type of brain thing.
Adrenaline.
It's not adrenaline. It's serotonin, dopamine.
I never took a cold shower. You'll have to pay me a lot of money to jump in one of those.
Taking a cold shower makes me laugh. I say that all the time. And
I can't breathe.
But that's
it makes me go like
it gives you this like exactly. And that's
I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh my God. That's why people do like cold plunges and stuff like that, because it releases this type of I don't know, you can look it up, but it releases some hormone inside of you.
Yeah.
And it's shown to really help with stress levels, with sleep, with being able to focus. So I've been trying to, after I do my regular shower, to turn it on the cold and really just sit in it as much as I can. And it always gets me giggling in like this weird way.
That's why you laugh by yourself in the shower sometimes.
Okay, you're just making that up.
I'm like, what is she doing?
Okay, guys, can't listen to this.
We're gonna turn this off, you guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube and
all the things, and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I don't think you can follow. You can subscribe to
I thought it's following. I mean, whichever one it is.
Yeah. Also, Valentine's Day was great, by the way. We went to dinner.
Again, off topic.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
So.
If you're watching this video and you're wondering what this string is, it's a balloon from our Valentine's Day dinner. That's still there.
And by the way, I didn't get this balloon. We got it at the restaurant.
Oh yes, we did get it at the restaurant. Yeah. And Yoni did not give me flowers.
Because Ali told me, Yoni, you do not give me flowers. I will throw that shit out. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay, anyways, guys, we'll leave you be. Have a great rest of your day. We love you.
Bye.
See you guys next week. Bye.